type of video. Now, some would be asking, what am I doing with all my early Beatles albums here on this stack? But you see, I wanted to go more in depth about the discography. We've made full episodes on each album, but what about talking to this like it's a big video? So we split up into 3 parts. The early years, which I'll just start with Please Please Me through Help. The middle period of Beatles albums, which I'm going to say as the experimental era. We're going to go from Rubber Soul to Sgt. Pepper's. Sgt. Pepper's. Or, more fittingly, we'll go Rubber Soul until the White Album. And then we do the final period, which is Yellow Submarine and Abbey Road and Let It Be. But some of you would say, what is this? Why, this is all. I wanted to show some love to these early albums. For anybody that starts getting into the Beatles, I'd recommend this out of the early ones the most. A Hard Day's Night is my favorite early Beatles album. I don't know if I expressed that in the ranking, which I'm going to be re-ranking that, and not on November 21st, so there's that. This thing right here is a really great album. Let's go, because this album, you see, has some of the best, has one of my favorite Beatles songs. I'll Be Back on it. I'll Be Back is just a really great John Lennon song on how it's so poetic, and it's a very beautiful song. I'm Happy to Dance With You. Some people don't like it. It's George Harrison's song. It's great. I love it. Things we said today, Can't Buy Me Love. This is a very, when you people think of the Beatles, they think of this. Which a lot of my friends just don't like them, but they think they're a boy, they were a generic boy band. They're not. And so if you want to start with a simple album that you can understand, start with this one. If you're into the early period, if you're into the later period, I'd say start with Revolver, or the middle period. As I've said, Revolver is my favorite album, but this is one of my other favorites. The other album from the early period, I would say to listen to, is the second best album from the early period. So we're going Help. This is my first ever Beatles album. I got this, then Revolver, then Sgt. Pepper. Then I got this, Abbey Road, then Revolver, Sgt. Pepper's, and Rubber Soul. Those were my number. Then I started to go to get the rest of them. This is an almost perfect album. The songs on it convey this great, and I would say some of these songs are starting to lead into that more later, the middle period. We have Help, a very catchy tune. That song gets stuck in your head. I swear to you, I'll be sitting in school sometimes and I can hear that song playing through my brain. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. The harmonies are great. The scene in Help is great too. About The Night Before, one of McCartney's best songs on this album. Another Girl, my favorite McCartney song on this album. I Need You, my favorite song on this album. People hate it, but I love it. It's one of George's best songs. You're Going to Lose That Girl. I don't know, I hear a lot of people talk about it, but I really enjoy it. It's got this very kind of nice appeal to it. It's great. But I want to switch things up. We'll get back to talking about this. We're going to go back to the beginning, because we're doing this in chronology. I'm going to try to do this in chronology. We have Please Please Me, their 1963 March release. The album cover is iconic. Not as iconic stuff like Abbey Road. We'll put those aside. There's there too. But this thing, it's on stereo. Stereo, which is, stereo is the sound goes out. It's really cool to see how they've changed. Like if we pull up their second album with the Beatles here, their hairstyles here have evolved more from these shorter kind of hairstyles here. We got the yellow Beatles logo instead of the classic white or black one. And we have the you don't see this in any other albums, but it's With Love Me Do and 12 Other Songs. This picture's beautiful right here. And when we get to these type covers, you see my other three here, with the Beatles' Help and Hard Day's Night, are all very much those old classic CD covers. because I bought them on Amazon. Alright, I mean on eBay. And I bought this on Amazon because I couldn't find this in my local record store. Bought this on Amazon. These two I bought on Amazon. Most of my other ones I found at my local record store. So yeah, let's get back to Please Please Me. It's Parlophone. The Apple is not going to be on the CD. So if we open it up, we see this great photo of them. I love it. And then we open the casing. There's more photos of them by this old beat up car. It's really great comic style. It's weird to see their hair so short like this. It's not, you don't think of it usually. I'm just about to remove the CD carefully. Don't want to damage it. Hold on, let me my phone down as I pull it out. This is a very well looking CD. I like the design of this one. Parlophone, stereo, Please Please Me, I saw her standing there. Trademark, long play. You see the stars on top. It's like a western CD. Now, I'm not going to read them off from you, but we just see the Cap logo, which was the publisher for the Beatles in America. And a lot of you would say, what should I recommend for other Beatles YouTube channels? Jackie's channel, Beautiful Life. Mean Mr. Mayo is a great YouTube channel. I love his content. He's really cool. So go follow him. I want to take out the flip book, though, as we move on. Please Please Me is a very kind of, 60s sounding album. It's very... Please Please Me, we see the album cover here with Love... Is this... Let me see. The Beatles. George Harrison lead guitar, Paul McCartney bass guitar, John Lennon rhythm guitar, Ringo drums. Pop picking is a fast and furious business these days. Whether you are on the recording studio side, listening out, or the disc counter side, listening in. As a record reviewer, I find myself installed halfway in between with an ear cocked in either direction. So, for as Britain's record collecting public is concerned, the Beatles broke into earshot in October 1962. My natural hometown and interest in the group prevented me taking a totally unbiased view over their early success. 18 months before their first visit to the EMI studios in London, the Beatles had been voted Merseyside's favorite outfit. It was inevitable that their first Parlophone record, Love Me Do, would go straight to the top of Liverpool's local hip parade. The group's chances of national chart entry seemed much more remote. No other team had joined the best-selling via a debut disc. The Beatles were history makers from the start, and Love Me Do sold enough copies during its first 48 hours in the shops to send it soaring into the national charts in all the busy years since pop singles first shrank from 10 to 7. Page 3. I won't read much more because I don't want to. There's just great photo of them in the Cavern Club. I always love seeing Cavern Club photos. It's just so nostalgic for them, I bet, especially. I'll pause it there if you want to read it. You can pause it if you want to read it there. Another beautiful photo of them in the Cavern Club. And I'll pause that. I'll hold that there. So if you want to pause and read it, you can go ahead. There's that rusty car I find kind of funny. I don't know. But I like this photo too. It's in color and it's a really cool one. So I will put the phone down as I put this back in the casing. The CD's case. Here's something. I know a lot of people do not like these kind of flimsy discs. I can understand why they can bend sometimes. You don't want them to bend. But my side is hard to that. But put that up to get to our next one. Wait, you know what? I didn't talk about the songs. I'm sorry. Paul's best song on here is, I would have to say, I'd say Please Please Me. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, a lot of people be like, wow, I Saw Her Standing There. I Saw Her Standing There is a great song. It's very catchy, but Please Please Me just really has this effect of making me feel happy when I'm sad. Love Me Do is another great McCartney song. Twist and Shout, Lennon is such a great. He's great. I know it's not their song, it's a cover, but he sings it the best. But a lot of these songs in here are just, they're 60s pop, I love them, but it's nothing special. It's a good album, though. Great album to start the Beatles' career, and I think it skyrockets them to fame. I love Please Please Me, and I'll have to give it a 10 out of 10. All Beatles songs get a 10 out of 10, besides Yellow Submarine, but... So we move on to... With the Beatles. Their second solo album, released on November 22nd, 1963. This bad boy, you see, is a little different. Because a lot of people would say its success came because of President Kennedy's assassination, and our country wanted and America wanted a reliever after that. So happy music with the Beatles was a good way. I love this photo, but I can't understand why poor Ringo's down there. He looks so sad with the rest of them. Look. I love with the Beatles logo on this one. This is a very... feels more 60 than the last one, and I rank this higher than the other one. I really love this song right here. I first listened to this song back in April. This whole album in April. I'd gone back from a vacation, but I put this song in. My friend was outside, and he was mad because I guess he wanted to listen to the Beatles, and he was trying to change. He was getting loud in there. I really like this song. A lot of people hate this song. I've got no idea why. Devil in Her Heart. I know it's a cover, but I still really like it. Another cover that's really good, they sing really well. Don't Bother Me is another great song. Not many people like this one. I really love it. All My Loving, best song on here. This is the more kind of pop, kind of centered album of the two. Because I really think this is more pop centered than Please Please Me was. And you could say that maybe that's the album's downfall, or maybe it's the album's best part. Ringo. I just want to show you this. Look at this man's poor face. That's a man that does not have his drums. You also understand what that means. Apple Records, 1963. Recordings made by EMI Records Ltd. Limited. With the Beatles, a compact disc. Digital audio. All rights reserved. Unauthorized duplication is a violation of applicable laws. A lot of people prefer the Please Please Me on cover, but I actually like this one more. It's a classic one. And after this, we start to get to the really great Beatles songs, but we need to... And it's their second album, 1963, and they'd have 2 albums every year until 66. They'd have then a 2 in 67, only 1 in 68, 2 in 69, and only 1 in 70 because they broke up in 1970. Now, with the Beatles, I'm sorry for leaving the phone down. I really am sorry that made it. With the Beatles, a lot of the songs in here are great, but a lot of the other songs kind of filler too. And it suffers more than the other ones, but a lot of people don't really like this album compared to Please Please Me. I don't get that, because I prefer this more than Please Please Me. Call me weird, throw me away, burn me alive. Sue me. I like this one more than Please Please Me. I know, shocking. And the people in America back then liked it more. And like I said, and this is the first ever big nation chopper. This is what brought the Beatles overseas, which would lead to the Ed Sullivan Show 64 and brought them to worldwide success with our next album we'll talk about. And you know what? I give With the Beatles that respect. It really is a great it's a great album that it makes me happier. It's a very peaceful, you know what? I love this album. There I say it. With the Beatles, I love it. It's not bad. It's not overrated. Most of the songs on it are great. There are a lot of covers on it. Those covers are great too, but you know what? I'm pleased. They please me. They please me. that pun did not work well. So with the Beatles, 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Nah, I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. But yeah, we move on to our next album of the bunch. A Hard Day's Night. Now, some would say this is the biggest pop album of their career. Would I agree? Of course I would. This is their biggest pop album. You can't be lying. I would be lying to you if I said it wasn't. But this album cover, I'm sorry, is better than both of these. Let's just put these in position. Get out of here. It's for sale. And we have this. Look at this. Look how much cooler that is. They're all their heads on this very cool slot looking thing, and it's a very awesome detailed thing. All the different snapshots are really cool. George's are my favorites. He's smoking a cigarette there, smiling. He has his head turned, winking. John is just looking all high. He's looking all high. Ringo is looking just Ringo-like. And, even the title is very nice. This is the British cover. Yeah, the British albums were written American albums. Capitol changed them when they came over to America, but they weren't really as good as the British ones. Now we get to the side of the songs. We have A Hard Day's Night. I already talked about how much this song is the one that really truly brought me into this kind of phase of the Beatles. It's a very album. It makes you just get excited. You're happy. And I've always been pleased. If I fell in love with you, it's just one of John's best songs in this pop section. And I love her. Paul really makes a very sweet and a very sweet gesture of a song. I love it. And he's a really cool guy for it. I mean, I'll Be Back. The song that has helped me through a lot of sadness. Can't Buy Me Love. I loved it. July was my favorite month to listen to this song. This song, when I heard it on The Simpsons, also I really liked it. Paul's vocals in this are really good. As you know, they say John wrote A Hard Day's Night. Paul wrote Can't Buy Me Love. They're both very active songs, and maybe it's just because the movie is my favorite movie of all time. But excuse me, don't judge me. This is really a great Beatles album. It's not on the level of Sgt. Pepper's, Rubber Soul, the White Album, Revolver especially. But it's better. It's better than Let It Be. I like Let It Be. What do I mean? It's better. All the Beatles albums are good besides Yellow Submarine. We don't like you. We kind of do, but you just don't match. You're a good album. Their weakest album is just kind of bad. It's just kind of mediocre, but that's okay. There's always going to be one bad one and a batch of great ones. But I'm happy to dance with you is George's best earliest song. Sue Me. I love this song. Sue me. A lot of people hate this song, but I don't hate it. I particularly like it. And don't judge me. Would I rate A Hard Day's Night? I'd give it a strong 10 out of 10. Yay. Now we have a divisive one here. It's better than with the Beatles. Excuse me. Those are really good, but this is just Beatles for Sale. It starts to go into that territory, if you know what I mean. It's a very experimental album for its time. You see, we just came off albums like, A Hard Day's Night and all those pop-centered albums. This is like a middle finger to those. It doesn't really care what you say about it. And it's got this very melancholy approach to it. It's sad. Even the look on their faces. Let's just compare this. Compare this for me. Look at this. Sad. Happy. And a lot of these songs convey that emotion, and that's why I just like this album a lot. It's my second favorite early Beatles album. Or third. Look at that photo of them. Truly great. No Reply. My lord, when I first heard this song, it just got me sad. And I really liked it. I'm a Loser is one song that, you kind of feel for John Lennon while he's singing it. Even though it's not him. Babies in Black is a very strange song, as its meaning is a guy who's trying to get over some guy. It's basically a guy trying to get a woman who's grieving her dead husband. I know it's dark. I'm a Loser is all about self-regret, sadness over a mistake and just sadness over losing the one girl. No Reply is about losing someone, losing your love as you see her going away, and there are a lot of happy songs in here. All Follow the Sun is like the standout in here. All Follow the Sun is a beautiful song. Rivals Yesterday, if you ask me. And Paul really done a great job when he made this song. A great job. And, and I think about this. Beatles for Sale is a truly more melancholy. You think maybe... And here's the explanation behind that. You see, the Beatles, they knew that their music was making all this... They felt like they were being sold out, basically. Heck, we can thank Paul McCartney Doll for that. You might be asking, where's that set? It'll be back soon. Don't worry. I would have done this here, but this feels more comfortable. I'm going to be talking for like 27 minutes, so... It gets long once we get to my favorite albums. The middle period, which will either be out tonight, or tomorrow, or Monday, or Sunday. I don't know. But... Mainly John Short Passages by John and Paul. Double track John, occasionally Paul. George joins both on chorus. No Reply. A lot of these songs are John songs, but that's okay, because John Lennon was a great singer. Just don't let anybody say that they think they would tell you different, because... And I'm proud the Beatles tried something different with this one. It's now Revolver or Rubber Soul, but it's another step in that direction we take. And really, this for me is the end of the early Beatles period. I'm gonna count Help though. Don't click off yet, please. But you see, the Beatles had this magical thing with this album that just makes me... It's a sad album, but it's also a really good album. Beatles for Sale. 10 out of 10. You know what? I'll give it that. Reaching over to... Also, the album cover was great on that one, but now we have the Happy album. The one that is truly the last. This is the finale of the early Beatles period. These 5 albums are... most would consider as the early albums. As we get into the experimental side, Rubber Soul through the White Album, which I'm gonna call. So what we're gonna be talking about this is the album listing. And if you know what the title is going to be, it's the Beatles Discography, Part 1, Please Please Me Through Help. And we'll have Part 2 is Revolver through the White Album, and then the third 3 is the Yellow Submarine through Let It Be. With this, we have... What I might do is do 3 albums next time we start it, so I can talk about them more in depth. We do the White Album through Let It Be. So But Help has a lot of great songs on this. The Night Before, like I said, is one of Paul's best songs on in the Beatles discography. Another Girl is the best Paul song on this. I Need You is... It's really good. It's my favorite song on this album, you see. With George singing. George is really... He's got a very nice, great voice. It's Only Love. John Lennon hated this. I like it. Yesterday. It's so beautiful. It really has a set. It makes you really sad when you think about it when you're... You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. The melodies in this. And the harmonies. The harmonies. Such a... John is really... He has this effect with his voice, and he's a great rock singer. But he's also a great... He's very... His voice has a sweet kind of sound. It's very addictive listening to Beatles songs because their voices. Paul's got a better voice. More of a throaty voice, but... Act Naturally. I know it's Ringo's cover. He doesn't go for that good. We love Ringo, but Ringo just didn't do it that great. But that's okay. Fun fact: this album had to be called Help because there's also another album called Help. They had the exclamation point. And so, what would I say as a final thought of Help? And I would say Help. It's a great way to go. It's a great finale to the early period of Beatles music, but is it the best Beatles album from the early period? No, I still would say that's A Hard Day's Night, but it's still a great